why Wall Street cares about your supply chain. Module 2, using supply chain management to improve profits. Hi, I'm Chuck Poyer, a partner with Computer Sciences Corporation. Thanks for joining us for the second module in our CFO podcast series. Today we'll explore the context in which Wall Street considers key business objectives and how that point of view could impact the way you look at your supply chain, the importance of your processes and network, and your path to financial success. Along the way, we'll look at how the CFO can start taking a leadership role in creating cross-functional and cross-business process improvement that satisfies the Wall Street context. Let's get right to the heart of things. The real objective of any business and its supply chain is to increase profits. That certainly pleases the Wall Street analysts. Since making money is still the name of the business game, it's appropriate that today's discussion focuses on how Wall Street sets objectives for the impact of a supply chain management effort. The first and most expectable focus is placed on cost reduction, a natural requirement. From that perspective, analysts are pleased to find 5 areas where improved supply chain performance adds value and brings new business benefits. Process efficiencies drive costs down as teams find best practices and streamline the end-to-end system of supply and delivery, taking cost out wherever possible. Shorter cycle times and visibility across the supply chain increase responsiveness and customer satisfaction, reducing customer turnover and retaining valuable customers. Lean techniques eliminate waste and non-value-adding steps, assuring best processing across the enterprise. Asset utilization and elimination of unnecessary assets reduces the need for working capital. Lower inventories that meet demand reduce working capital needs and save carrying costs. We find these improvements can bring 2 to 5 points of new profit to a firm's profit and loss statement, as documented by several reputable analytical services.
You're right, Chuck. That's exactly how Wall Street analysts and supply chain executives would view the situation. But there's another view that's important. I'm Joe Hornberger from Manhattan Associates. I'd like to add that Wall Street cares about your supply chain because of the potential impact such an effort can have on revenue creation. When a firm gets really good at supply chain management, meaning it becomes more efficient, reduces cycle times, and creates visibility across its business network, the results appeal to the customer. They get what they want, they're not disappointed, and they receive what starts to look like special care. What happens is that the firm distinguishes itself by the virtue of what it can accomplish through its supply chain, providing features that cannot be duplicated by other networks. The results from this perspective have significant benefits, including sales and operations planning enables the firm to improve forecast accuracy and more effectively link what is actually needed with what the network can deliver. Service availability and better speed of delivery support profitable customer acquisition. More effective customer service and the ability to deliver on promises results in customer retention. Careful collaboration with supply chain partners leads to joint analysis of data and better response to trends and new revenue generation. Supply chain studies show substantial improvements can be made to sales as leading firms are finding the means to take advantage of their supply chain improvements and turn them into new revenues. Now you add 2 to 3 more points of additional profit.
So how do you find the best conditions to accomplish these objectives? How does supply chain finance play a role? There are 2 essential ingredients. First, you need to identify the key process steps in your supply chain that make a real difference to your costs, and then use the advantages to better satisfy your customers. As Wall Street analysts see supply chain as a route to increasing shareholder value, their expectations are that the firm is moving ever closer to optimized conditions in both areas, and that the firm is best at what is essential from a customer perspective. Secondly, you must break down any stovepipe or silo mentality that exists and extend those best practices across the full business enterprise. For example, if you've developed the best order proposal, order entry, and order management system, why not share it with your key suppliers and customers? In that manner, the supply chain network moves toward optimization and value is added across the enterprise. Such a technique enables CFOs to see measurable improvement as the business is transformed into a value-managed enterprise and total costs come down. There will be a twofold result, moreover. You add value by introducing process steps that favorably affect buyer and seller, and you raise revenues by creating innovative elements the industry has not been offered. The result is an increase to sales.
And it has to add up. Wall Street cares most about your supply chain when they see results, from the data flow that leads to perfect order entry and processing to the product flow that results in delivery of a perfect order to the consumer. But there must be a positive financial flow as well. It all comes down to the bottom line, where the leaders are documenting the results. An annual survey of supply chain professionals conducted by CSC, Supply Chain Management Review magazine, and Michigan State University confirms the savings and the new revenues are there. 61% of the respondents to this survey indicate that supply chain efforts have reduced their costs by 1 to 10%, with another 13% indicating they have saved 11 to 20% or more. These results validate 1 to 5 points of new profit can be added through cost savings that come from supply chain effort. It also shows that many firms are still struggling with how to show similar results, as 22% indicated their initiatives have failed or they were not sure how to wring out the savings from their supply chains. We conclude that the fastest way to get Wall Street's attention is to show them the beef. If the average firm is saving 10% and their supply chain costs are 40% of revenues, a typical number, then the savings equal 4 points of new profit. That's a compelling number for the CFO who's looking to increase shareholder value.
This same survey showed a similar result from using supply chain improvements to increase revenues. 52% of the respondents indicated the business had increased revenues by 1 to 10%, with another 11% in the 11 to 20% or more range. Clearly, the leaders are finding the way to impact the top and bottom line. From a financial point of view, supply chain finance is more than just a way to cut costs. It becomes the path to success. No matter what impact CFOs are seeking, whether they want to positively affect economic value added, return on investment, or earnings per share, a concerted supply chain effort can provide the means of accomplishment. It comes from 3 sources: improvements to cost and productivity, better asset utilization, and profitable revenue growth. Any firm and any business can begin building a financial results tree that matches the supply chain improvement initiatives with each of these 3 categories and spells out the actions and implementations that will bring the desired enhancements to financial performance. A major chemical firm got started by relating the 3 factors to the potential impact supply chain improvement could have on earnings per share. As they built a decision tree that required placing actual ranges of potential financial improvement beside each action to be taken, the surprising result was a doubling of earnings per share.
In upcoming modules, CSC's Jerry Boltine, author of Annual Technology Issues for Financial Executives Survey conducted by CSC and the FEI, will explain how superior supply chain performance can make a CFO into a supply chain champion. Until then, we wish you the best with your financial improvement efforts.